Scorpio, this is not just a forecast. This is your divine alert. A life-changing amount of money is coming and your soul must be ready to receive it. Let's be clear from the very beginning. The purpose of this video is not entertainment. It is an activation. You're not here by accident. You were led here because the spiritual vault with your name on it is beginning to unlock. But wealth from the heavens does not pour into just any vessel. It requires a spirit that is aligned, cleansed, and prepared. So I'll ask you plainly, are you truly ready for the abundance you've been praying for? Are your habits, your thoughts, your inner world prepared to hold what is destined for you? Because something rare is unfolding in the sky this week. The full moon is shining through your second house, the realm of resources, income, and self-worth. At the same time, Jupiter, planet of expansion, meets Uranus, the unexpected lightning bolt of fate, in the area of your career. This is not just financial energy, this is transformational currency. It is divine redistribution. And if you've been feeling shifts inside, emotional turbulence, or sudden clarity, it's because your soul is sensing the release that is on the way. But here's what no one tells you: the universe doesn't just give money. It entrusts money to those who know how to wield it for light. And Scorpio, that is why you're here. You are being summoned not to consume wealth but to steward it. To become the sacred banker of divine intentions. Every act of integrity, every hard decision you made alone, every time you walked away from comfort to protect your truth, it's all been recorded. And now, the balance is shifting in your favor. But only if you're ready. So take a breath. Feel the weight of this moment. You're standing at the edge of a financial breakthrough, but it begins not with action, but with recognition. Recognition that what's coming is not random. It's a response to the life you've already lived. I want to pause here and express my deepest gratitude for your presence. For every like, every comment you leave, every time you share or subscribe, it sends a signal into the spiritual algorithm. Not just of this channel, but of the universe itself. Your support doesn't just grow miracle of the sign. It helps us continue delivering these soul reminders, these divine briefings that can change the trajectory of a life. And Scorpio, believe me, you'll want to stay with me until the very last moment of this video. Because what the universe is revealing next is nothing short of spectacular. You have a spiritual contract to fulfill, and the resources for that mission are already en route. So let me ask you, what happened today? What moment, what feeling brought you here, right now? Leave a comment below and declare it: I'm ready to receive the divine funds meant for my mission. That sentence is not just a comment. It's a soul signature. A spiritual green light. A code that tells the universe, I'm open, I'm listening, and I'm aligned. Let's begin. What you're about to experience in this phase of your journey isn't just another energetic message, it's a pivotal reframe of how you've been taught to perceive struggle, delay, and the internal resistance that quietly whispers, not yet. This section is about peeling back the veil on the very part of your soul that has been waiting, not passively, but in sacred tension for the conditions to align with the destiny you already carry inside you. In astrology, we often see Saturn as the gatekeeper of time, of divine delays, and of karmic refinement. And when Saturn casts its shadow across a financial or value-oriented transit such as the full moon now illuminating your second house, it's not to deny you the breakthrough you crave. It's to shape you into the person who can carry it without collapsing under the weight of the blessing. When we talk about preparation, we're not only referring to getting your budget together or cleaning up your to-do list. That's part of it. But the deeper preparation is energetic. It's the practice of choosing clarity over chaos. It's the gentle discipline of refusing to hoard guilt, shame, or scarcity stories in the corners of your consciousness. You see, the universe doesn't pour into a cluttered cup. And when your inner vessel is leaking through unresolved wounds, no amount of external gain can satisfy the soul's hunger for safety, rootedness, and trust. There's a reason why the timing of abundance has felt like a mystery. It isn't that you've been forgotten. It's that what you're meant to hold isn't average. It's sacred currency designed not just to help you pay your bills, but to help fund a higher mission. And to carry that kind of wealth, your nervous system must be stabilized. Your beliefs must be updated. Your emotional body must be receptive, not reactive. That's why the delays felt sharp. That's why doors seemed to open just long enough to remind you they existed, then close again. You weren't being teased. You were being taught how to listen with deeper ears, to see not just what's present, but what's preparing to arrive. Think of it like a garden in winter. From above, it may look barren. But below the surface, roots are strengthening. The soil is fermenting. Energy is being redistributed underground, so that when spring comes, the bloom doesn't just burst, it sustains. This is what is happening now in your financial and energetic life. You may not yet see the full manifestation, but the soil has been tilled. The contracts in heaven are being signed. And if you're quiet enough, you might even sense the shift in your body, a lightness in your chest, a small window of peace in your breath, a quiet excitement you can't yet explain. This is how grace works. It arrives gently, but it asks something of you. It asks you to let go of expired narratives and open yourself to the possibility that ease is no longer something you have to earn through suffering. That abundance is no longer a prize to win, but a frequency you attune to. And while spiritual practice plays a role in this, so does self-care, healthy boundaries, and conscious thought. You are being invited to step into a new vibration, one where money becomes a mirror for how deeply you've come to trust yourself, your calling, and the invisible timing of divine design. So if this part of the journey feels tender, if you still have questions or you still wrestle with doubt, know this: you are not late. You are right on time. And what's unfolding now isn't a reward, it's a restoration. Not just of wealth, but of identity, of mission, of worth. And that, Scorpio, is where the true preparation begins. When the Tower appears in a reading, especially in a context as profound as this one, it does not come to punish or destroy, it comes to liberate. It signals that the structures you've built, beliefs, attachments, rootedness, no longer serve the vibration you are evolving into. Imagine your life as a house constructed on a foundation you laid years ago, before you knew your true worth. Perhaps you built it out of necessity, survival, or someone else's blueprint. But now, as wealth, purpose, and destiny draw nearer, the very framework that once kept you safe may be the same one preventing expansion. In astrology, transits that bring tower-like energy, such as Pluto squaring natal planets, or Uranus activating foundational houses, often manifest as sudden change. But beneath the surface, it's a long-awaited update. The energetic blueprint of your life is recalibrating to match the higher version of who you've become. And while that recalibration can feel like chaos, it's actually precision. The law of attraction does not respond to desperation, it responds to alignment. You don't draw in abundance by pleading for it, you receive it by removing what blocks it. Sometimes, that block is a drawer full of expired receipts from a life you no longer live. Sometimes it's a friendship that subtly drains you, or a belief inherited from someone who never believed in themselves. If money is energy, and energy needs space, then your first act of wealth activation isn't earning, it's clearing. Not just physical clutter, but emotional and mental residue. Every object you own, every thought you entertain, every dynamic you maintain is either amplifying your frequency or dulling it. This is why preparation is not about perfection, it's about permission. Giving yourself permission to let go. To delete the contact. To forgive without needing an apology. To say, this version of me no longer fits. And with that clarity, to open the door for what does. In my years of guiding people through energetic transformation, I've seen again and again that abundance flows most easily not when someone finally achieves something, but when they finally release something. Releasing is the space maker. It's the spiritual blueprint unrolling beneath your feet. Think of the old beliefs like cracked jars. You've been trying to pour the wine of new opportunities into them, only to find they leak. You don't need more wine. You need a new container. This is what the Tower comes to teach. It asks, what in your life is built on fear, and how long are you willing to keep maintaining it? Your future cannot be built on your past's limitations. And while that's a courageous truth to face, it's also a liberating one. Let this be a gentle invitation to step into your own renovation. Start small. Donate the clothes that remind you of a version of yourself that no longer exists. Pay that lingering bill not just to close the account, but to clear the energetic loop. Write the letter you'll never send, just to remove it from your chest. Every time you create space, you send a message to the universe. I am no longer owned by what has passed, I am ready for what's next. That readiness, quiet as it may seem, is louder than begging, faster than strategy, more magnetic than hustle. It's not about doing more. It's about making room for what already belongs to you. What makes the Ace of Pentacles so profound isn't simply the promise of material gain, it's the clarity that what's being offered is not just a coin, but a contract. A divine agreement between you and the universe, where abundance is no longer framed as something you chase, but something you're entrusted with. When this card appears, especially in a context as energetically potent as yours right now, it signals that a door is opening, but only for the one who walks through it as a steward, not a consumer. The opportunity isn't just to receive, it's to channel. This is sacred economy, and you are the vessel. In astrology, we often look at the second house for financial matters, but it's not just about money, it's about value, worthiness, self-trust. The Ace of Pentacles entering this zone at a time when expansive energies like Jupiter and Uranus are shaking the foundations of your career and public impact tells us something deeper. The abundance arriving isn't random. It's strategic. It's meant to support what only you can build, through the blueprint of your soul. But it can only land fully in hands that know how to open without gripping. Think of this moment like holding a seed. It's small, maybe even unimpressive to the eye. But what it holds is infinite potential, an orchard, a legacy, nourishment for generations. The question isn't whether the seed has power. The question is, are you the ground that can hold it? Are you willing to protect it from doubt, water it with faith, and give it space to grow beyond your own name? This is why the ace doesn't come with glitter. It comes with gravity. It's subtle, quiet, and often disguised as responsibility. It shows up as a whisper: use this to heal, use this to serve, use this to elevate. And when the first wave of money arrives, and it will, you'll notice your first instinct. That instinct is revealing. It will tell you whether you see this moment as a personal reward or a sacred trust. Neither is wrong. But only one leads to long-term alignment. Only one transforms the money into meaning. Wealth, in its most awakened form, is an echo of purpose. It's not meant to end with you. It's meant to pass through you, illuminating others as it flows. You may have once said, "If I had the resources, I'd change this." Or, "If I had more, I'd help them." Those weren't passing thoughts. They were soul-level blueprints. Divine proposals submitted in quiet moments, waiting for the cosmic boardroom to approve the funding. That approval is here. But the money is just the envelope, the message is your mission. So when it comes, ask better questions. Don't just ask, "What can I afford now?" Ask, "What can I build that will outlive me?" Don't just wonder, "What will people think of me now that I have this?" Ask instead, "Who was waiting for me to rise so they could rise too?" These questions shift your frequency. They turn a transaction into a transmission. They tell the universe, "I am not just a receiver, I am a channel." And that, more than anything, is what unlocks sustained flow. Because in the end, money alone won't fulfill your spirit. But purpose always does. And when the two meet, when divine provision meets divine intent, that's when miracles move. That's when one check can change not just your life, but the lives around you. And that, dear one, is what this ace is really offering. A new beginning, seeded in trust, watered by courage, and harvested in light. You are not just getting paid. You are being funded for a reason much bigger than yourself. To truly receive at the level you're asking for, your energetic system has to match the frequency of what's arriving. Abundance doesn't respond to want, it responds to readiness. The universe, in all its divine order, is precise, not impulsive. It doesn't send high-frequency blessings into a body, mind, or life pattern that is still running outdated scripts of lack, fear, or self-abandonment. That's why this moment in your journey is not just about asking for more, it's about becoming the version of you who can hold more, circulate more, and expand with more, without collapsing. Frequency is not a concept reserved for mystics or energy healers. It is the language of all matter. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is a broadcast. And what you receive is based not on what you deserve, but what you're tuned into. Imagine trying to receive satellite music on a broken radio. The song is there. The broadcast is live. But if the device isn't functioning properly, if it's full of static, drained batteries, or broken wirings, you'll hear nothing but noise. The same is true of your nervous system, your belief system, and your daily habits. You cannot manifest wealth from a place that still believes it's unworthy. You cannot attract love if your inner voice continues to whisper that you're not enough. The work, then, is not to chase. It's to clear. And often, it begins with the most ordinary yet sacred acts of care. Waking up and choosing to hydrate your body with lemon and honey water isn't just a detox ritual, it's a signal that you honor your vessel. Sitting down to meditate, even for 10 minutes, isn't about silencing your mind, it's about attuning to the deeper rhythm of your higher self, the version of you who already lives in the frequency of ease, clarity, and trust. Feeding your body foods that support your solar plexus, the energy center linked to personal power, self-worth, and identity, isn't just nutritional. It's vibrational. Golden foods like turmeric, oats, and walnuts don't just support physical wellness. They remind your cells of your right to shine, to lead, to receive. When your inner system is strong, clear, and regulated, your outer world reflects that harmony back to you in the form of opportunities, aligned people, and yes, unexpected income. But perhaps most importantly, shifting from phrases like, "I can't afford it," to, "I'm choosing where to place my resources," is not just semantic. It's spiritual maturity. It's declaring that you are no longer a bystander in your own life, but a conscious participant in your reality. Language creates pathways. When you speak from power, you walk through doors you never saw before. And here's the secret: consistency is a portal. It's not the grand gestures that open the heavens. It's the daily decision to meet your future self halfway. To drink the water. To say the new words. To pause before reacting. To show up, again and again, until your frequency stabilizes in the truth of your worth. These small acts are not small. They are the curriculum of preparation. They are the sacred codes that tell the universe, "I am not waiting, I am ready." Your next level isn't waiting on a miracle. It's waiting on your alignment. Not in perfection, but in devotion. Not in control, but in trust. So begin today, not by trying harder, but by clearing softer. Honor your body, listen to your breath, and let the rhythm of your new reality find you where you are, whole, willing, and tuned in. The moment you begin to see yourself not as a receiver of wealth but as a distributor of light, everything changes. This shift is more than mental, it's spiritual, energetic, cellular. It is the unlocking of a new identity, one that does not depend on how much you earn, but how intentionally you use what you're given. Scorpio, you are no longer living under the dominion of an outdated system that only rewarded surface-level performance and appearance. You are stepping into a vibration where the universe now selects leaders not by their outer image, but by their inner alignment. And make no mistake, if you are listening to this, you are being chosen as one of those leaders. There is a cosmic redistribution happening. Not through chaos, but through divine recalibration. Resources, ideas, partnerships, opportunities, all of it is shifting hands. Not because the old guard has failed, but because their vibration no longer matches the frequency of where humanity is heading. We are moving into an age where purpose is the currency, and integrity is the bank. That's why the universe isn't just sending you more, it's sending you responsibility. Not to burden you, but to activate the version of you that has always known you were meant for more. This is your financial initiation. Not into greed or accumulation, but into divine stewardship. Think about it. No one hands a vault of treasure to someone who doesn't know how to protect it, grow it, or share it wisely. You're not being trusted with wealth because of what you've achieved. You're being trusted because of who you've become through the refining fires of lack, longing, and self-inquiry. Your compassion has been tested. Your patience has been forged. Your vision has survived seasons when it made no logical sense to hold on. And now comes the funding. But this funding is not for shopping sprees or ego validation. It is to fuel movements, to lift communities, to build things that echo long after your name is gone. That is the energy of true legacy. So when this wealth arrives, and it will, pause before you spend. Breathe before you buy. Ask yourself, is this purchase feeding the future or feeding my fear? Am I using this gift to secure attention, or to fulfill a mission? These are not easy questions, but they are sacred ones. And asking them opens portals that no material strategy ever could. Start thinking like someone entrusted with divine accounts. What projects align with your soul's values? Who in your life could flourish with your support? What needs to be built now that the means are finally arriving? You are not just spending, you are planting. And every dollar, every decision, is a seed. Will it grow into something sustainable and holy, or will it feed a pattern that you've already outgrown? The invitation now is not to perform leadership, but to embody it. To step into this new chapter with both humility and clarity. Humility because you know the wealth doesn't define your worth, it simply amplifies your impact. Clarity because you understand that this moment didn't arrive by chance. It was orchestrated by a higher intelligence that has watched you rise from the depths of survival into the consciousness of service. And perhaps the most important question you can carry with you now is this: how can I use this wealth to make someone else feel safe, seen, or inspired? Because when you focus on becoming a safe haven for others, the universe keeps your cup overflowing. That is how flow works. You are not a victim anymore. You are a channel. A bridge. A light in places that once knew only darkness. And what you choose to do next will not just define your future, it will shape the future of those watching you, quietly praying that someone like you would rise. And now, Scorpio, we've reached that sacred edge, the moment where knowing must become doing, where what stirred your spirit must now move through your hands. You don't need to ask for more. You've already been approved. The proposal your soul submitted through years of integrity, quiet effort, and late-night prayers has been signed, sealed, and sent back with a message: it's time. But time for what, exactly? It's time to stop treating your desires as distant dreams and start treating them as divine directives. Time to clear what no longer resonates, align your life like a vessel preparing for sacred cargo, and step forward not with the energy of striving, but with the stillness of knowing. You are no longer the seeker. You are the receiver. And your receiving is not passive, it's a form of leadership. So I ask you now, not to entertain this message like a lovely thought, but to interact with it like a living truth. What space are you ready to clear to make room for what's coming? What daily ritual, small, simple, sacred, can you begin today to show the universe that you are no longer just hoping, but preparing? Who in your life will be the first to feel the light of this abundance flowing through you? This isn't about hustle. This isn't about getting it all perfect. This is about showing up in frequency, again and again, until the very fabric of your life shifts. Because it will. The real question is, will you shift with it, or let it pass you by? If this video reached you, it's because something in your field has already aligned. And if your heart whispered, "This was for me," then please don't let this moment go unseen. Drop a comment below with 888 "I am ready" to affirm your part in this sacred transfer. This isn't superstition, it's synchronization. Every word you speak, every comment you type, becomes part of your energetic broadcast. Let your signal be clear. Like this video if you felt even one sentence speak directly to your spirit. Subscribe to Miracle of the Sign so that you never miss the next divine nudge, the next aligned message, the next call to rise. And if you know someone who's been silently praying for a breakthrough, share this with them. Your courage may just be the confirmation they've been waiting for. I want to thank you deeply, not just for watching, but for existing in this time, on this path, with this heart. Your presence here isn't random, it's radiant. And this community, our community, is stronger because you're in it. Remember, you're not just the holder of a vision. You are the signature that activates its arrival. Now go gently, but boldly. Because the transfer has been approved and the next move belongs to you.